Got your notes and things. Okay. Yes, so unfortunately, because it's graffiti art, a lot of these pieces don't really have a title to them, so there's going to be a lot of untitles going on. But what's important is that we have the artist name and things. Yes. So this is our first artist. His name is Odith. I hope that's how you pronounce it. Odith. Happy Friday. I hope it's going okay for you. We're just about to start our talk. Yes. So this is Odith. The piece is untitled. It's just his name, Odith. Odeith. But it's in this strange looking graffiti. And it's a like illusion graffiti, I suppose, is one way to call it. The specific phrase is called anamorphosis, which is basically like using particular angles to make it seem like something 2D is 3D. Yeah. I mean, we'll get into that in a little bit, but let's go over the background of this guy. Born 1976 in Portugal. His real name is Sergio, but he goes by Odith, so we'll just be calling him Odith from now on. He first picked up a spray can in the mid-1980s. Obviously nothing like too crazy, a lot of small scale stuff, just while he got used to the stuff. But he quickly turned to large scale, like walls, to really get a sense of like what it meant to be like a graffiti artist. Get used to the craft, things like that. He did drop out of school at 15, so he has no formal training in art by any means. He's completely self-taught. And it was around 2005 when Odith started to garner more international recognition. And by using this anamorphosis method, there we go, sorry, I couldn't think of it. Anamorphosis method, how it was pretty new, not a lot of people were doing it, especially for graffiti. There were, and we've talked about an artist that did this before, people that would use like chalk drawings like on the ground to make it look like there was like a pit in the ground, but it was just an illusion kind of deal. There was a lot of that, but there wasn't a whole lot of graffiti artists that were doing that sort of like illusion stuff. So because Odith kind of capitalized on that, his name became very popular. He got a lot of attention, a lot of fame. Odith basically became viral. Sorry, I'm gonna lower the music a touch for me. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys, but I just needed to lower it. I couldn't really hear myself talk. Yeah, so like I said, the anamorphosis method is basically something 2D where at a particular angle, it looks like it's 3D. So another example here is this. And I have an example of, because right now you're like, okay, what? Like it kind of just looks like a sculpture, I suppose, but it's not a sculpture. It's 2D. And which might seem strange, but here, I'll show you the, so that's the sketch there on the left, and here on the right is the finished product. So this is just a box, I guess. And because he spray paints shadows and windows and things like that, it makes it seem like it's a hollowed out box when it's not. Which is pretty wild. This kind of stuff kind of makes more sense to me than that previous picture where it looks like he uses like a right angle of a room to make it look like it's a like floating flat plane. That one, I still don't understand how that works. Yeah, it's kind of the same with, like I was saying, those people that would do the street art, like on the streets with like chalk or paints or whatever, and how it looks like things are floating. Like, I know it's all perspective and angles and things, but yeah, I just don't. I don't understand how people plan that out. You know what I mean? Especially for like graffiti. Like, how do you plan that out? It's so permanent. Like, I know you can paint over it, but like, yeah, I don't know. And that's what I'm saying too, as well, Evie, is like, because if you do look at it at a different angle, yeah, it makes like no sense. It's probably like overstretched or looks strange. So then how do they know, like, ah, yes, this strange overstretched thing looks good, you know? Like, I guess you would just have to keep running back and forth to make sure it looked how you're visioning it. I don't know. Geometry and calculus. Like, maybe that's what they use, right? To get these sorts of images down. So you don't want to have certain color with tape. Yeah, so as for like the very crisp lines, there's like tape and other things you can do to like make sure you have that pinpoint accuracy, but yeah, I don't. Here's another example to show you the kind of stuff he does. Left, of course, is untouched, and then on the right is after Odith did his graffiti street art. So yeah. Yeah, this one's very wild. I think it was this one, along with I didn't include it in the presentation, but it was like it's like a skull, basically. It's some sort of dome shape thingy, but he makes like a skull out of it, and it looks like the skull is like floating. It's very strange, but I think those were some of the examples that made Odith garner that big attention, like online and things. So yeah, masking tape. Yeah, there's plenty you can do to make sure you get the clean lines, but yeah, I don't know. And again, these make more sense to me than the floating ones. I need better words to describe. But yes, this one seems a little more doable to me because it's an actual like 3D object and stuff. The first one I showed you, sorry, Trek is having a dream, is just so wild to me. I don't understand how, yeah. And that's the thing too, is he does post pictures, or there are pictures online of like you were saying, Evie, how at the wrong angle, it looks strange. So it's not like he's like hiding it or anything, but yeah, it's a particular angle that you have to be at for the illusion to work. Woof. Match the colors of the surroundings. Yeah, that too. Like, get out my laser. Laser time. This part here, how he like matches the wall color to like really make it look 3D, that's very strange. I'm like, holy fuck, that's such a good idea. Porkies, I know. Oh, but yes, so along with Odith doing his graffiti art and stuff, he also likes to do examples of this with like the bus thingy. How for him it's kind of like a restoration kind of deal, just to liven up cities, or you know, to even this first example over here, how, you know, it was just like some sort of white plain building. Now there's some like beautiful art to go with it and to just make things more lively and beautiful and interesting. So that's what he tries to do for a lot of his illusion graffiti, is to spice up the city, make things look cool. Yeah, bring some art to very local and like public places. That way everybody has the pleasure of experiencing art. Even if people aren't interested, you know, it's a good way to get everybody maybe brighten up their day and stuff. So I thought that was really cute that he does that. So yeah, he has a ton of examples online of like his work. This is like not even a fraction of all of the things he's done. There's another one where it was kind of a building like this kind of just white looking, I don't know what it is, maybe like a maintenance room or something. But he made it look like it was like a car, and then it was against a building, and on that building he graffitied like a kangaroo on top of it. It was adorable. It was really cute. So paid for the stuff. Yes, yeah. He does get paid, thankfully. So yeah. Chased by the police. Yeah, it's usually how it goes. A lot of graffiti artists have to work like at night to get anything done, because technically it is illegal. But I just don't. If you just pay artists to do that, you know, to like put a mural on the side of your building, it looks so much better that way. But yeah. Cities cover up graffiti works, I feel like. Yeah, exactly. It's just a very old way of thinking. Obviously, it depends on like what the graffiti is, but for the most part, it's all just like harmless stuff. Like, hi, Jam. Entertain me with your knowledge. Okay, I'm going to try. How's it going? Happy Friday. First warning. Oh shit. Just like one of those like ransom letters, like with the cutout letters and things. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Is like there's a difference between you know, just kind of like Jam is saying, like just tags or people, whatever, you know what I mean? And then there's actual artists out there that do some very incredible stuff that should be paid to do their work on like buildings, or like even, again, like I said, for something like this, it's harmless, you know? Just living, like, it's not like this is someone's house, you know what I mean? It's so stupid. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much. That's why I love seeing like restaurants, or maybe what's it called? Like breweries. I hate that word. Breweries have like murals on the side of their buildings and stuff, and it looks so beautiful. It's so gorgeous. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, so that's our first artist for the day. It's just one of those words. I hate it. Every time I've just brewery. Put some good graffiti on it. Yeah, like put actual art on it, you know. Okay, thanks. And it's great. Instead of it just being like a plain white wall or I don't know. Yeah. They'd graffitied all the trains for my tiny conformist mind. Oh. Yeah, and even then, like very like more simple graffiti can look pretty cool as well if there's like lots of layers of it. You know, I think that can look pretty cool. Yeah. All right. Oh, we'll go to this first one so you guys can look at the floating ones. Close, yeah. Yes. You know, some people just gotta express themselves somehow. I just don't see why not just use chalk, you know? Like, chalk is way cheaper, you know? Easier to get a hold of, lighter. Just use chalk instead of spray paint, but that's just me. Drive. Getting a break from the boring old concrete was nice. Some of the things were naughty. Ooh. Yeah. There was in Houston, there was for the longest time, I think it was on a bridge, but the graffiti said, "Be loved," and it was there for like a long time, long time. And then some assholes covered it up. Yeah. People were very upset, very, very sad. I think someone went back and kind of like remade it, the "be loved" thing. Obviously, you know, it wasn't quite the same. But yeah, it just goes to show how like sometimes graffiti, even if it is like by a professional or not, can like just really, you know, brighten people's day. So, oh god, okay, let's, oh god. Yeah, so that was in the cover-up thingy. I remember reading about it. I don't remember when that was, but it was kind of recent actually when that happened. People were like, no, like the "be loved" graffiti. And every time I would drive into Houston as well, I would see it. And I would be like, you know, okay. And then they covered it up and I was like, oh, that sucks, you know? Oh. But yes. Okay, our next artist. Here we go. Yeah, so like I was saying, this is another example, or this was kind of like I was saying how this is on the side of like a train car. How graffiti, even though it is just this guy's name or whatever, it can look pretty sick, you know, like. But this is the artist Crash, John Crash. We'll just call him Crash. So this one, oh yeah, I didn't get an exact date for this one. And the title of the piece is The Crasher. That's the guy's name, the artist. But let's go over the background for Crash. So, Crash was born 1961. He was raised in the Bronx, New York. He started spray painting at the age of 13. He gained his nickname Crash from schoolmates. I kind of read into it, something about he was in school and did something to make like the computer like little, I don't know what, like a computer explode or something like that. But his nickname was Crash, so he kept that nickname through his art career. But yeah, he started spray painting at the age of 13. He started in train yards, but eventually graduated to now, which is like him working in like art galleries, him actually being commissioned and paid to do his work, which is really nice to see. Yeah, pretty much he would sneak out with like the older teenagers, and they would like have spray cans and they would let him spray paint some stuff, you know, hooligan stuff, hooligans, misfits. That's a twain, yeah. 5 to 10 hours? What, to work on a piece? Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, the ones that do the spray painting, like, at night illegally and stuff? That's what I'm wondering. But I guess it depends where you're spray painting, but... The Bronx. Yeah, Bronx, New York. So pretty much, yeah, kind of early on in his career, because of his spray painting and his works, other artists saw what he was doing, gallery owners saw what he was doing. They might have been like personal friends or something, but they set up like like an art gallery for graffiti artists, which I thought was kind of neat. And that's when Crash really started to get the gears going on like his art career and getting fame to like a wider audience. So much so that it also, his name kind of like reached outside of America, kind of like that first artist too, international fame, which is really nice. You know, sometimes you just gotta give graffiti artists a chance. Just because it's graffiti art does not equate to like just someone writing like slander on the walls, I guess, because it's also art, you know. Hi, Shuma. Hello. Yes. So, yeah, they started up an art gallery for graffiti artists. Crash was in it, and he was able to show off his art, his process and things. Here's another example of what he does. So this one is 2016. I believe he collaborated with another graffiti artist, Rizzy. But this is on the side of like a building. So this is more of like a mural and stuff. So he was paid. They were paid for this. But look how beautiful that is. You know what I mean? Like before, what? It was probably just some like plain white wall of like a warehouse or something. Look how cool that is. I love it. Like, it makes me so happy. Kirby and the Crystal Shards. Yes, I also made a note that this is in Jersey City. In case you wanted to see it IRL, I don't know. Our right of the building. Oh, so like this going on over here? I don't really think it's supposed to be anything. I think it's more of just like a mess of like colors and shapes and like lines and things. No, it's not supposed to be, it's not supposed to be like a person or something. It's just... Yeah, it's a mess of colors and lines and things like that, so. One of them looks like a fish to me. Mark down late. Okay. Late again, I see. You and Shuma both. Late. Jam, write that down. Evie, write it down in the book. In the ledger. Late. Put it in red pen. You're fine. You're fine. Hi, Nibs. Gothic script. Oh my god. The reddest of pens. Wax seal at the bottom. Or like just some like very fancy signature at the bottom. I don't know. Excuse me. Hi, Nibs. We're talking about graffiti art today. We're actually going to move on to our last artist of the day. But I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone's having a good Friday. I don't know if anyone has plans for the weekend, but yeah, hopefully you can get a good nap in. Let's get going. So, background on Shamsia, I hope I'm saying it right. She is titled as Afghanistan's first female graffiti artist. I'll explain later, but this is very important. But basically, born 1988 in Iran, so Jam, you called it. Shamsia studied visual arts in Kabul, though her interest in the arts started at a very early age. She, at the time, unfortunately, art classes were not permitted to Afghans in Iran, so she had to study other things that were allowed, I guess. So I think she went into some sort of like financial studies, but what she really wanted to do was to study art. So she had to wait, I guess. But while attending university in Kabul is when she was allowed to finally study art, take classes. And as soon as she was able to, she like was 1,000% in. You know what I mean? Like I think she knew that she would love it, but like as soon as like she was given that freedom to take art classes, she loved it. So much so, she holds a BA, so a bachelor's degree in painting, and she also has a master's degree in visual arts. She even became the associate professor of drawing / anatomy drawing at Kabul University. Like that's how much she just like loves art. Is that she not only got a bachelor's, she got a master's, and she is a professor at a university. So she's like all in. So yeah, she do this next one over here. And I'll explain this one a little bit. This technically is not a real piece of graffiti work that she's done. I'll explain it a little bit, but this is technically Photoshop. But yeah, put a pin in that. So, working graffiti, obviously, working graffiti art has always been difficult for Shamsia. As you might know, most graffiti artists work at night on their art, but that's not really a risk that Shamsia can take where she lives. She's just not able to go out at night, right? So night times are kind of out of the question, especially because she'd be alone. So that's not something she's gonna risk. Which means she has to work during the day. And while working during the day, she says her window of working on graffiti art is about 15 minutes because she faces a lot of public harassment, a lot of ridicule from passerbyers. Yes. Where she lives, art is kind of a taboo subject, unfortunately. And also adding to the fact that she's a woman making art, it's just like a double whammy, like not good. And I'm kind of talking about this like as carefully and as respectfully as I can, but a lot over there, women don't get a lot of rights or like freedom to do things. So yes, the fact that she has to work in increments of like 15 minutes and then get the fuck out of there, it's really sad. So yes, she is so yeah, she's kind of risking it just by making art and graffiti where she lives. But yes, because it's she gets a lot of flack for it. So yeah, so like I was saying, this piece is part of a series titled Dreaming Graffiti. I think I spelled graffiti wrong. I think it's a 1T. Anyways, it's titled Dreaming Graffiti. So since she can't graffiti where she wants to a lot of the time, she will instead walk around and take pictures of places that she finds very beautiful and where she dreams of graffitiing, because she can't actually do it. So she takes pictures of these places, puts it in Photoshop, and kind of like draws how she would dream of, yeah, graffitiing. So that's why this piece is titled Dreaming Graffiti. Yeah, so hopefully, you know, hopefully one day she can graffiti there. Yes, okay, so this next one I decided to put, yeah, it's, yes. Sorry. Yeah, so I decided to put this, this next one, I decided to put a quote of her explaining this kind of reoccurring figure that she does in her art. And so I'll just read straight from the quote that she said in an interview. I use music instruments as a symbol for women to play her voice with it. She can use musical instruments to talk with people, to speak louder and get more attention, as she has no mouth. But this musical instrument gives her power to speak in society. Her eyes are closed because usually she has nothing good around herself to see, and sometimes she cannot see her future. And that's why her eyes are closed, but it doesn't mean she cannot see. So, yeah, that's why she kind of draws this kind of woman figure, very gorgeous, very beautiful, but that's why they have their eyes closed and they don't have like a mouth or anything. Yeah, she's pretty active on Twitter. She posts like a lot of her art and stuff on Twitter and Instagram and things. But yeah, she gets very involved in speaking out against particular topics that are happening over there. So very brave, very brave woman, and her art is gorgeous. Yeah, I hope one day she can graffiti wherever she wants to graffiti, you know what I mean? Because yeah, her art is very beautiful. And a place that needs it, you know, a place that needs art like that. So she's a huge activist and stuff. So finding her and her art was like very, very nice, and but also really sad, I guess. I don't know. Not in like a pity kind of way, but just, you know, unfortunate. So yeah, that's that, and that's her. I just really love that quote a lot. Her explaining her reasons behind that, like why she always portrays women in her art, is because she really, really believes and hopes that one day the Taliban will, you know, or that women will just be able to do whatever they want, you know, have freedom someday and things. So yeah, it was really nice. Yeah. Sorry, that got kind of sad and deep for a second there, but yeah, I was like, I can't just pass this up, you know. So but yeah, that's the art history talk. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a great time. I don't know a whole lot about graffiti artists. It's not really a art medium that I really look into, I suppose. So I'll definitely have to fix that.